Welcome back. I'm prepared to be bedazzled because today I'm going to be shining light on why going an entire lifetime without buying anything from a restaurant is easy. So why would I deem it to be a cinch to abstain, desist, and refrain from buying anything from a restaurant for the totality of your lifetime? Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Succinctly stated, foods at restaurants do not warrant their steep, staggering, hefty, exorbitant, lofty premium prices. It is needless to buy anything from restaurants, especially when you have the autonomy to cultivate your own crops in your backyard. Moreover, in lieu of buying food from restaurants, you can purchase foods via grocery stores and supermarkets. Furthermore, you can more expeditiously prepare meals at your abode than you can receive meals from chefs at restaurants. If you travel to distant restaurants, you will be aptly poised to be waiting ample time to be furnished with a meal from a chef at a restaurant. Moreover, if you order meals via food delivery applications, then you will also be waiting ample time for the delivery driver to haul your meal to your abode. So there are ample deterrents to eat out at restaurants and to order meals from restaurants. Do the homogeneous foods taste any more palatable or any more scrumptious or any more succulent or any more appetizing if you order them from restaurants in lieu of preparing them on your own? I would staunchly make the contention that they unequivocally do not. Furthermore, if you prepare your own meals, then you can at least psychologically know that the foods were washed off prior to the advent of you consuming your own meals. On the other hand, if you order food from restaurants, there is no guarantee that the restaurant personnel will always be adherent to house code regulations 100% of the time. The restaurant personnel should always abide by house code regulations. Furthermore, there are a copious amount of insalubrious menu items that are embedded on restaurant menus. You should only implement salubrious dietary decisions for your dietary decisions. Consume vegan supplements, drink distilled water, and consume foods that are subsumed under a longevity-promoting, salubrious, wholesome, nutrient-dense, alkaline, antioxidant-rich, anti-inflammatory, raw fruitarian diet. Never implement insalubrious dietary decisions. Never devour foods that can adversely impinge on any facet of your house. Never devour foods that can ravage your DNA. Never devour foods that can truncate your telomeres. Never devour foods that can unravel your chromosomes. Never devour foods that render you at a higher probability to contract a deleterious chronic disease. Only implement salubrious dietary decisions. If your friends congregate at restaurants, you're not barred from meeting them at restaurants. You can simply forgo ordering food and beverages from restaurants if you rally together with your friends at restaurants. You can defer eating foods until you have arrived back at your abode if you opt to congregate at restaurants with friends. You can consume 21,000 calories of alkaline, nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables per week. You do not need to eat 8 times per day. An eating session does not need to be relegated to the standard dinner time. So, I cannot discern the merit of buying food from restaurants. Why would you desire to pay a 300 to 1,000% markup on homogeneous foods? Why would you yearn to eat out at restaurants? Why would you desire to order meals from restaurants? You can prepare your own meals with relative ease. It is not arduous for a person to prepare his own meals. And if you prepare your own meals, then you psychologically know that the foods were washed off prior to the advent of you Fletcherizing them. So, why buy foods from restaurants when you can cultivate your own crops in your own backyard at your abode? What entices people to eat out in restaurants? What incentivizes people to order meals from restaurants? People just may be recalcitrant about preparing their own meals because they may be unaccustomed to doing so. They may want to delegate the meal preparation task to a chef in lieu of preparing their own meals. However, it is more of an inconvenience to drive to a distant restaurant, wait to be seated, and wait for a chef to prepare a meal that you order at the restaurant than it is for you to prepare your own meal at your own abode. It is more of an inconvenience to call a restaurant and place an order and wait for a delivery driver to deliver your meal that you ordered from the restaurant to your residence, and it is for you to prepare your own meal. So the process of buying food from restaurants is not devoid of inconveniences in all contexts. This challenge of going an entirety of a lifetime without buying anything from a restaurant can seamlessly be surmounted with relative ease. It is a surmountable challenge that can seamlessly be surmounted. It is not deemed to be an insurmountable challenge in any facet. I hope that you're enthralled, regaled, calculated, mesmerized, amused, floored, and fascinated. I hope that you're entrenched in the underlying epicness. Once again, to recapitulate, allow this to solidify in the chasms of your mind that you should always implement salubrious dietary decisions, never implement insalubrious dietary decisions. Once again, to recapitulate, always implement salubrious dietary decisions and never implement insalubrious dietary decisions. All of your dietary decisions should be healthy dietary decisions 100% of the time. Thanks for watching. Have a blissful day.